Okay, everybody. So welcome to a special call specifically about some changes that are happening at Amazon that I think everyone should know about and discuss. Some really, really big changes. Obviously, the only constant on Amazon is that it's constantly changing, right? And these changes specifically are a major threat to your business, but also can be a major advantage. And so I wanted to just have an emergency call and really just share this knowledge with everybody in my network, people that have taken my classes, people that are part of my group. So if you're on this call, you got an invite or saw a post of mine, which means you follow me. And so I try to give as much value and help as much as I can. So it started maybe the last 3 to 6 months, probably 6 months ago. We noticed that some people were randomly getting de-indexed. And this has been an issue occasionally, but the reasons previously, and if you guys don't know what de-index means, it means like you're ranking for a keyword and then all of a sudden you're not ranking for that keyword. And it can be a slight de-index, like now you're number 30 when you were 5, or it could be a complete de-index where you go from 5 to like not even on page 14, right? So the thing that used to happen is that competitors could attack you, they could change your category, they could change your backend, they could get you transferred to be an adult product. Things like that would get you de-indexed in the past, and usually it was one of those things. What's happening now is that Amazon is changing the way that the algorithm is reading your listing. So it's reading your the way that that you get credit for where like the relevancy of your keywords and your listing for keywords is how you build your listing and how Amazon's algorithm reads your listing, because they're just trying to go on their algorithm picking up different keywords throughout your listing, and a combination of getting sales and conversions and clicks on different keywords. So your ranking and the quality score that you get is a combination of click-through rate, conversion rate, and relevancy, and then revenue on a keyword. And so that relevancy part is super important. Now you can get the other stuff going, but if you don't have the relevancy component, Amazon's not going to rank you well for it. If you're selling a hairbrush, you won't rank for a gun holster, no matter how many sales you generate through the pay-per-click ad for gun holster. You'll just always just get pay-per-click ads and never really rank on the first page. So that relevancy part is really, really important, and how you build your listing matters. So the changes that we're seeing is that Amazon is taking away some of the back-end fields that people would use when they populated and built their listing. And what that means is that that search terms field or that field that they're getting rid of, that keywords field that they're getting rid of, if you had keywords in there that the algorithm was reading and picking up, all of a sudden Amazon doesn't see it anymore because it's gone. And so you could go from number 5 to number 30 or to off of page 4 of 10, because now Amazon's trying to figure out where to find that search term or those keywords or the roots to put together that keyword, that long tail keyword or that keyword, so that they can rank you for it. And so it's a really big issue that people are having. So my recommendation has always been, for the last year to 2 years, I've been telling people, don't build your listing using some of those back-end search term fields or keyword fields that they give you access to, because Amazon had warned us that they didn't want you stuffing it anyway. And so in my mind, I knew that they had already changed the back end several times in the last 4 or 5 years. And I knew that that was something that could be a possibility in the future. And so if you were taking advantage of something that they didn't want you to take advantage of, then all of a sudden you're going to end up in, getting de-indexed, right? And it happens. So what I would say is, give me 1 second. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I just clicked on a bundle. I was going to give you guys some exact idea of the different fields and everything. So what I'm talking about is, if you go into your listing on the back end and you click on edit your listing, you go to that keywords tab, and on the keywords tab, you've got like intended use, target audience, other attributes, and subject matter and search terms. Search terms is really the only place that they want you to put other keywords. And what we use that for is that we usually leave it somewhat blank in the beginning because we're trying to get credit in other places where you get more credit for keywords. And then as we're having any issues with indexing in the beginning, or if we're trying to get credit for keywords we don't want to put on the front end. So misspellings, which misspellings aren't as important as they used to be because Amazon does a autocorrect now and they'll show you the correct one sometimes. So you just got to check that yourself. The other thing is that you could put foreign languages, for example. You might not want to put that in the front end in your bullets, your title, but you can put the foreign languages on the back end. Now, the subject matter is the main field that I'm seeing disappearing in certain categories. And remember, this is a beta that they're rolling out in different categories. And so it's not like widespread. It's not something that you might have that you're experiencing yet, but it is happening more and more frequently across different subcategories and categories. And it's probably something that they're testing and going to roll out wide. So my warning was never to abuse that subject matter field because it does index really well. But now in the case, what we're seeing is exactly what I thought might happen, which is that Amazon's going to remove it and you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So if you've already got it, keywords in there, it's going to be a tough situation for you because like you don't want to fix what isn't broken, and if you've got something with a lot of history and a lot of indexing power, you don't necessarily want to start removing keywords from different places and messing with your ranks. But I would recommend maybe optimizing your listing, building it, adding maybe a keyword or two that's in your subject matter, adding it to your bullets, like just editing your bullets and adding it there so that it has another relevant place to pick it up in case it is removed. And it'll just be a tertiary thing for now, but it might save you the headache or the trouble, or it might not be as big of a blow in the event that they just sweep the subject matter if you guys were using it, which I know a lot of people teach to abuse subject matter. As a matter of fact, like Helium 10 is the main software we use and we teach and we have everyone using. And if in their Scribbles tool, they have a subject matter field and they recommend putting a bunch of keywords in there. And I've seen a lot of tools and a lot of other teachers teaching that. I would recommend staying away from that. So that's the first major change. The second change that we're really seeing is the fact that they've added now 5 additional bullets on some listings. Now it's not for all of them yet. And if you go into where your bullets are, you can expand that out even more. So that would be underneath your description tab. And then if you go to key product features, and it might be called something different in different categories, but you'll see that sometimes instead of having the standard 5, you might now have 10. And so what this means is that you've got a lot more to advertise to your buyers, but Amazon currently only indexes the first 1,000 characters of your bullets. Now they let you put 250 to 500, it's a lot of characters, but you can use it up in 2 bullets and then the other 3 bullets don't index at all. 1 second, guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. So the main thing is, and I lost my concentration. I'm dealing with this container that just arrived and my employees and stuff. So here's the thing with the bullets and what I recommend and what my thinking behind it. If you get 5 additional bullets and you've already got at least 1,000 characters in your first 5 bullets, those next 5 bullets aren't going to do you any good for indexing. And I've seen people stuff really long bullets, hundreds of characters, and they don't realize that only the first couple are indexing, and then they have keywords in their bottom few bullets that just don't get you any credit, right? So what I'm thinking is if you're going to create new listings moving forward, you're going to, and you have access to 10 bullets, I recommend doing shorter bullets and trying to spread those 1,000 characters out. So, 100 characters per bullet, or spread it out 125 for the first 8. And then the last 2 bullets, you can just put things that you're not trying to index, things about like maybe a story about your company in 1 bullet, and then like a warranty or like a guarantee, or like you've got to be careful about guarantee, but warranty information on how to contact you in that last bullet. So these are the two major changes that I'm seeing, and I want to take some questions because I know that this is happening to some of you guys on the call, and that's why you're on. Yeah, the question is, will the flat file have 10 bullets? And it might be like a subcategory by subcategory basis. And so if you're going to populate those bullets, you might have to do it on the back end of Seller Central in the inventory tab. But if you guys want to, I'll spend like an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes taking questions and discussing some of these things. There's some really heavy hitters and people that really know a lot about indexing and software on the call. I know Leo's on the call and a couple other people. So we can always just make this more discussional, because this is something that you guys need to be aware of that's happening. And I'm sure that there's some things that people can talk about. So we can start to just jump into questions. And I know I asked you guys, like in my post and in my email, it would mean a lot if you can head to sellerpoll.com. Today's the last day. As a matter of fact, it closes like in the next 3 hours. You know, it's like midnight UK time. The contest ends, and I'm in second place in a couple categories. So I'm trying to just ask for a final push to get a couple votes. If you guys can go to sellerpoll.com and sign up and vote for me for, I think it's for consultant contribution and then my core seller systems, that would mean a lot. I appreciate it, Gabriel. You already voted. I'll give everyone like 2 minutes like to do that if you're going to do that, and then we can just jump into discussions.
I'm doing it right now.
Appreciate it, man. Brian.
Regarding the custom matter, I don't even see it. I only see my search terms.
The which field don't you see?
All of them. I only see the search term field. But
yeah, they've already deleted it for you then.
Oh yeah, that's what I was noticing in the ranking.
Audience, so you're only seeing search terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. So did you have an issue where you lost rank?
I'm in the middle of a launch, so maybe, yeah, it jumped a little bit back, but I don't know if it's regarding the subject matter.
Okay. Because as you know, I tell you not to use those fields anyway. So what I would do is go back and try to revisit because you've created your content and then you populated it to a listing. So you have that written somewhere. Go look for what you put in those other fields and try to fit them into your bullets and your search terms. Get them built into your listing so that you're at least covering them, right? So the way that we teach to write a listing is through through broad search terms, and it's like a broad search volume, and that gives us a weight of how important keywords are to put in. So it's a relevancy and then a broad search volume that we're calculating through our our spreadsheet that we do. We call it a master keyword list. I think almost everyone here has seen the way that we do.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, the master keyword list for sure.
Yeah. So then you take that master keyword list and then you sort by roots, by like the different major keywords you see a lot, and then you calculate how much that each of those
comes in.
Search volume is total for each root, and then that'll tell you where to how to prioritize. So what ends up happening is if you're following and tracking your keywords on Helium 10, Elite Seller, Zon Tools, whatever you're using, if you see like in your launch that you have it's like greater than 306, I think is what it says, that means you're not indexing for that search term. It means that and if you see it, a pattern of it across certain routes, it means that Amazon's not picking up those routes in your listing. You may have just left those routes out of your listing somehow. And you need to go back in and add them. And making changes in your honeymoon is okay and actually encouraged and good, because then you can adjust as needed. If you've got a well-established listing that's been selling well for you for 6 months, a year, 2 years, making changes can be dangerous. So just understand, like, there's a balance there. If it's not broken, don't fix it, but be aware that some of these changes might directly impact your business.
Brandon, this is Joe SP. I just went to the back end and when we had set to edit and checked, and 75% of what I had there before is gone.
Yeah, and that's and so have you seen a negative impact to your keyword ranks?
Big time.
Yeah, and so that's exactly what happened to you as well, unfortunately. So what you need to do is take an upload file, use an upload file, find the keywords. You have to try to track on your tracker where you saw the dips, whatever dipped, you need to rewrite your listing and your bullets, your title, your bullets. So you're going to do an actual update upload file. And then make sure all right, here's a very, very important thing for all of you guys. If you're going to use an upload file and then you use there's a check down box and it says update or partial update. If you do an update and you leave any fields clear except for images, those fields will disappear on your listing. It's because it's only going to, what you're saying by update is, this is only what I want on my listing. All right. Now update's powerful, but if you don't fill in like a bullet, or if you don't fill in any bullets, or you don't fill in something on the back end, now it's going to be blank. And that's a big deal. So partial update will only update whatever is populated on the partial update sheet. Okay, so you guys need to be very careful when you guys are using upload files. So I recommend that you go in and you use an update file and you actually do an update, and you populate all of the fields possible that still exist on the back end of your listing, and then get those keywords back in your listing, and then even do some like PPC, like revisit your PPC, make sure you're targeting those keywords that were gone and now are there again. Lower your price, add a coupon, try to trigger the algorithm for that conversion and click-through rate, and then convince it that it's relevant. So that relevancy part is what everyone's having trouble with, because all of a sudden it's out of the listing, so Amazon doesn't think it's relevant anymore. And so you guys need to understand the algorithm and how Amazon ranks, and then what's missing, and then try to fill that gap in to try to counter this.
So what you want changed, and even what you don't want changed, even if it's being left, you have to fill that in. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you want to, whatever's still there. So the question is what?
The question was, you have to change what you want changed, of course, and added, but even what you're not going to change but needs to stay has to be on that upload file also.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
If you don't populate a field, it's going to get deleted.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I hope that this is helpful. Leo, are you still on? Because you see a lot of data, and you would be someone that I would say is an expert in this field. Like, what have you seen on your end?
Oh, I just can repeat what you said. It's yeah, everything you said is what it is. So Amazon is constantly changing, right? And now they decided to change that. So you have to go back and update your listings, right? So there's nothing to add. Yeah, stuff your keywords closer to the top of your bullets, right? Or if you have 10 bullets, then make smaller bullets. Don't put 200 characters there, put 100. Right, yeah. And that should work.
I think it's easier to read too. If you do shorter bullets, it's going to be like more. It's probably going to help you convert, because people don't want to read an entire paragraph anyway. They want like the benefits, the features, the advantages of your product. Why is it better than your competition? What have you fixed? Like, and you can say that in a sentence with a keyword or two in it, right?
I like this change. I think it's a good change, as long as everybody has the same, because before I had to stuff keywords using flat files and do all sorts of dirty tricks, but now it's more transparent. It's good.
Hey, Brandon, but the thing I would be worried about is how it would appear on mobile view. Like, even though you have 10.
So the thing is on mobile view, Aaron, is that you see the description first. So if you have A+ content or a good description, and description indexes the lowest amount of anywhere else on your listing. So if like your description should be written to be very descriptive and actually sell the product. You want to re-emphasize those features, advantages, and benefits, that fab, and you want to talk about your product. You don't want to like stuff keywords in your description. If you don't have A+. If you have A+, it should be well designed, look great, help you convert. It should like make your product look like a professional branded product, like we're all selling. So don't worry about like your bullets are way down. Like if it's
Exactly.
eventually going to get, like if they scroll, they're going to get to it. Colin, what's up, brother?
What's going on, brother? That's what I was about. That's what I was about to say. The images are coming into instead of taking the bullet points, they're taking the images first, and then the bullet points are like a way bottom of it, so we don't have to worry about the mobile content at this point with the bullets at all. How you
If they
guys are
get all the
doing?
way down to your bullets, they're really close to buying. But man, I miss you. Are you in India?
Yeah, man, I'm stuck. I'm enjoying it though.
You look like you're enjoying it, bro.
Yep.
When
Yep.
this
I
thing's
hope
over,
you're
we
doing
gotta
good.
get together, man. I miss you.
Definitely, I want to.
I
Come
see
to
you
India,
and Angie
guys.
doing big things, man. I've been watching some content, some great stuff.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Powerhouse couple.
Thanks. You look
That's
like you
good.
lost so much weight, Brandon. What's going on?
Oh, it's camera tricks, man. I've gained like 30 pounds. I'm so fat right now. Like
Wow.
I have a
Oh,
good
wow.
angle and I took my glasses off and cut my hair short. It's like I'm doing whatever I can to try to look thinner, but believe me, I'm so fat right now.
We all.
Yeah, unloading these containers though, I'm gonna lose some weight. I can guarantee that. I am destroyed and I'm not even halfway done.
I put back my weight again. Anyway, let's go. Let's talk again.
Brian says Leo is Russian. He might be hacking the election. People don't read it anyway. Yeah, Amy's saying that people don't read the bullets. You get to it. Like eventually they'll get to it. Now what is the percentage, Leo, from mobile conversion and sales to regular? Is it like 70-30 now? Or is it still like 60-40?
So what I mean by that, Brandon, is just that in general, people are going to go through your photos first, and then they're
Yeah,
going to
for sure.
skim over your bullets. So you still want them to be readable, but you're using those bullets for SEO. You're using those for your indexing and your keywords. You want them to be readable, and you shouldn't make them like super long, or just because nobody's
No one's
going to
read
anyway.
like an essay in your bullets. So I
But
agree with
focus
that.
on your
Shorter to-
photos, like, like make those things awesome, and then make sure that your bullet points have a good amount of those keywords that you really want to index and rank for.
I don't think
Yeah,
anybody reads bullets. Honestly, they're overrated.
I think bullets are a little bit overrated, which is why so they tell you like the first and the last bullet are read the most, which used to be that way. But I think on mobile it's not, because you can only see you could only see three and then you have to expand. So it's the first three read on mobile, but on desktop it's the first and last that are read the most. So where do you put the most important information? Do you repeat it? Like it's
in images. Second image should explain it all. So.
Yeah, the images are exactly right. Like having images with infographics that are lifestyle, that really explain your product and the features, the benefits, those infographics are really important. High quality close-up images. That's what converts. That's exactly what converts. But
No, definitely the bullet points are helpful for us in terms of like building the relevancy, and then the first two bullet and then last bullet point especially have a very, very high weightage of like indexing and also relevancy, building the relevancy.
Yeah, the problem is if like the last bullet doesn't index if you have too many characters above it, because it's only 1,000 characters. So a lot of people make that mistake, because like what we would do is we would put our warranty information or our guarantee like in the third bullet, because we knew that always showed up on mobile. But then we're wasting a bunch of characters for indexing because it's in the middle, and we might not get to the fourth and fifth bullet where we're trying to get some SEO and get some credit. So it's a tough balance. I like the idea of 10 bullets. I hope that they maybe expand from 1,000 characters. There's no guarantee on that, but you can make shorter to the point sentences and like keep each bullet to a couple sentences that are very relevant to selling your product. If they get to your bullets after looking at all the images, they're really close to buying. They just want it. They're shopping and they want to know, why is yours better? And they want you to tell them. So that's why that features, advantages, benefits, like those three things you have to hit. And you have to look at your competitors, those reviews that your competitors have, those questions on your competitors' pages. That's gold. That's a gold mine for figuring out what to put in your bullets, because you're going to be able to figure out, what are people asking about regularly? What can I tell them without them having to ask?
Q&A indexes too.
Question over here, and you tell them on your bullets, they're going to buy your product because they didn't have to wait for an answer. Also, those negative reviews, those 3-star reviews are gold, because they give you something positive, they give you something negative. Like you've got a lot of information usually in the 3-star reviews that you can mine. So this is so important.
Hey, Brandon, what do you do against 1-star review attacks? Sorry, shifting the topic.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my biggest pain.
Yeah, I mean, you're in some competitive categories, man, and like you got a lot of dirty people. It's really tough, man. Like, can you trace it back to who's doing it, you think?
No, the worst is now, before you could, but now they do 1-star rating. There is no way to even look at who did it. So there's nothing you can do. You can just compensate with 15 5-stars, but which is hard.
Yeah, it's expensive and hard. It's tough, man. I mean, we could talk offline about it, but like you have to get your review rate up higher. And so there's that magic threshold of like, you're getting good reviews, but you're not getting too many reviews to raise flags. And you've just got to keep your threshold high so that you can counter those early reviews, like build a loyal fan base of people that really love your brand, that are excited about it, that will leave reviews. You're not compensating them for it or violating TOS. It's just like you have a launch list of people that are looking forward to your products, right? Like that's the only way to really do it. Yeah. Otherwise you could, before Joe got, I don't want to say anything, but before those guys got in trouble for having inside people, then you could have probably hired them to get rid of the reviews. It's funny that it's still happening though, because like Amazon's going and suing and indicting people. There's some high profile people that have recently deleted their Facebook profile because they're probably facing some legal issues. And it's good that, like, I hope Amazon continues to go after people and clean it up. All right, guys. So I can do this for another 10 minutes, take some rapid fire questions. If you guys have any, like just turn it into Ask Me Anything real quick. And then if you can, I can ask you again, like the last day for seller poll.
Quick question, Brandon. You mentioned warranty in bullets a couple of times. I got listings suspended for it. You still recommend putting warranty in bullets?
I do not use, let me see the language I use because I've never had an issue with it. And the language I use is pretty, it's approved. Like I actually like asked them. I'm on a listing that hasn't been populated yet. Let me get one that's active. What in the world is going on here?
You can actually say full refund or replacement. You can't say warranty. And in A+, you can't say anything.
In A+, you can't even say like it's a good product. They say you you have to be very careful.
I heard from multiple people who got suspended because of the warranty message. Actually, not only that, and also because of what they put it in the product itself. Actually, the warranty label.
Specifically what they put in the warranty label?
Yeah. So the like couple of people I found that the last bullet point, and also some of them got suspended because of they give the sign up for like get a full warranty, 100% replaceable warranty or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's not a warranty. So they're just giving away a free product in exchange for reviews. They're just cheating.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do inserts? Inserts still, Brandon? Are you recommending inserts of any
We recommend
kind?
inserts, but the language has to be very careful. Like you can't compensate for reviews. You can't do any marketing. We're still okay with free gift. We're still okay with joining like product testers. We're also still okay with like downloading extra value, whether it's an ebook, whether it's information, registering your warranty. Like you can have them go register a warranty. All of those things seem to be okay, and not pushing the line. Don't include a coupon. Don't include 25% off. Especially if you also mention your website. Like driving traffic off of Amazon with discounts is what they don't want. But driving them off for customer service or to bring them back eventually in your funnel to Amazon is okay. At the end of the day, Amazon just cares. It's an ROI for them, right? Like they know everything every seller is doing at all times. The amount of metrics they have, and then they know what a typical standard deviation is for review rate. They know what a standard deviation is for, like launches and giveaways and rebates and discounted sales. And like, they know everything everyone's doing. The question is, are you doing anything that hurts their buyers? If you're doing that, then that's a no-no. And are you doing anything that hurts their bottom line? If you do with that, then that's bad too. And that could be, or hurting other sellers. So hurting other sellers, hurting their buyers, or hurting their bottom line, you're gonna get shut down really quickly. And so I know from people that work at Amazon or have worked at Amazon in the past that they regularly have meetings where they have a list of 200 sellers, or that they've picked out from a sheet by sorting data that say these sellers are doing this. And the management's question is, what's the ROI on stopping them from doing that, right? And so that just tells you right away that they're willing to turn a blind eye as long as you're just doing something. And the way that I justify launches and marketing and giving away is because it's marketing. They put you on, they stick you on page 14. Look, they know that you're not going to rank to page 1 with just PPC 80+% of the time. So by running ads on other marketplaces or social media, and then driving traffic and sales to Amazon to let Amazon know that this is a product that's in demand and to help it rank, I think is completely justifiable. The question then becomes, though, do you deserve to be there through the organic traffic that they then give you? And you'll notice when you do a launch, you can jump to number 5 and number 2 and number 3 very quickly often. But whether you stay as 100% up to the merit of your product on those keywords and those routes and everything related to those keywords, are you getting good click-through rate and conversion rate? Are you getting better click-through rate and conversion rate than your competition? And then that's what determines. Now you can inflate those numbers for a period of time, but that's not going to be profitable in the long run if you have to constantly do that. So we recommend making sure that you do all of that front-loaded research and understand exactly what you need to do to make a product that's going to convert, and that you enter a product that is going to be something that you can beat your competition on, whether it's by going wider and selling more than them, being on more keywords, whether it's because your offer is significantly better, that your images and your listing are better, so you should convert better with your offer being better. Like, those things all matter, because that's going to determine whether that product has long-term success. And instead of you just constantly trying to prop it up through giveaways and other, I want to call it like, just tactics that aren't sustainable, right? So that's why doing the data analysis, the research that we do, that's now an elite seller, like that type of research, and then putting together those master keyword lists, and then determining how good your competition is at Amazon before you choose to do the product, that matters more than anything to me. And that's why, like, when we choose a product, we have an 80+% success rate on that product being profitable. And for the most part, most people aren't even close to that, because they're just not taking into account a lot of those other things, and the competition is just a little bit rougher than they thought it was.
I have a question, actually.
Yeah.
So with video, I use a lot of video ads in my products, and I'm trying to figure out how much ranking juice I get on video. Like, we all know exact, phrase, auto. The reason being is I recently launched a product and I only used product collection, auto, and video, and I got ranked to page 1 of some really big keywords, and I'm out of stock now. So now when I go back in stock, I'm kind of just, I don't know if I should focus more on expanding my video keywords, or do I move things into exact, or do I just let it be, and if it's not broken, don't fix it?
Yeah, so when you jump back into stock, your conversion rate and your click-through rate you're going to lag a little bit, because Amazon, you're building up some negative history, and those averages are going to dump you down a little bit. I highly recommend that you come back in stock with like a coupon, lower price, and then that way, and only keep on the PPC that converts well. You did great by not having that other PPC on, because you did 2 things. You kept your conversion rate high, and you slowed down your launch so that you don't run out of stock as fast. Because right now we're all facing that issue where we have 200 units. Going fast and furious and dumping a bunch of products on launch is not necessary. It hasn't been for a long time. We teach a scalpel approach, right? Like, we know what the levers are that need to be pulled, and we can approach it with precision. So you did a great job in that aspect, but when you come back into stock, you have some negative that you have to overcome. Turn on the stuff that was doing well, lower the price even more, put a coupon on, and then build your history back up with positive ROI or positive, conversion rate. I think that that'll be the big thing for you to do. If you're not out of stock for more than 2 weeks, you should be okay.
Oh, I'm going to be out of stock for 2 months.
Ooh, that's tough.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
that's
But
really
I
tough.
just, it is what it is. I didn't expect to sell 200 units in 10 days. Like, it was crazy. So it's a good
Congratulations.
problem to have. Yeah. But
Yeah,
so
it
with
is.
video,
But why
do you
did you
think,
only order 200 products?
because that's what I do. I'm always the first seller to Amazon with my product. I do a lot of product research off Amazon. So I have a good idea that this product's going to sell, but I don't really have a competitor who sells what I'm selling.
So you really can't look at the competition to really get an idea. So what I would do with your situation is that when you bring in now your 2,000 or 4,000 units, is create a new listing and start all over.
Oh,
Have it in a 3PL and then get your honeymoon back and make sure that you start from scratch. So that way you didn't build up 2 months of negative history, because now you're relaunching with more negative history than positive history. And it's better because you don't have too many reviews from that 200 units, maybe 10, 20, like at most.
I have 13 5-star reviews.
Yeah, so 10 to 20, like 13 reviews,
Yeah.
that's great. You're going to be able to duplicate that again, but without having to suffer through a relaunch and all that negative history. It's going to save you a lot of money, probably just to create a new SKU altogether and start all over. Trust me. I've been through that scenario too, where, wow, that went a lot better than we thought. And then 2 months later, like product checks in and it's a third the volume. It just doesn't do as well because Amazon's not going to give you the love that they give you in a honeymoon.
Hey, Brandon, would you do a relaunch? Okay, let me rephrase that. What's the most reviews you would do a relaunch with?
Look, that's all a business decision as to what you're willing to give up and how hard it is to get those reviews. Like, so if you have a product that has 100 5-star reviews and it's in the history is that it was selling well, I would relaunch that. But if you have 100 reviews and it was just selling okay, start all over. Like, you can do better now because you know how to do better, because you know how to do the research, you know how to launch better. Like, especially if you're in taking any of my classes or in my inner circle, you know how to do that precision launch and you know how to do it with less money and do it better than you did it last time. And losing those reviews is a small price to pay for being ranked better and having a better listing altogether.
Okay, because we ran out of product also. We didn't expect it to pick up the way it did. And we went from selling like nothing to selling like 6K a month with no problem at all. And it took like almost 2.5 months to get restocked. And this particular product, we have not been able to pick up traction again. So that's why
Yeah, that's very common. That's very common. Now, also, what was happening when you sold all that? Was it COVID related issue that was causing people to buy it?
No.
All right. Yeah. So just relaunching and doing it better this time is probably better for you. I don't know how many you sent in, if you sent it all directly in, but if you have some on the sidelines, launch another one, like launch a new variation of it. Call it the new model, right? And then that way, that's another way you can keep your reviews, is that you can just create a parent listing and then you can create a variation that is the new model. And then they should share the reviews with the other one being out of stock.
So you can relaunch the same product as a parent-child?
Yeah, well, the other one will be another child, and then the new one will be a child. So the old one's a child, the new one's a child, and then you have a new parent listing that you had to create and put them underneath.
Okay.
That way, because it's related, but you needed to relaunch it because it's new packaging or it's an updated model. It's the new one from 2020 because it's the new one from this last month. Any change that you've made, like, you can justify it being a new listing.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on one second.
Hey, Mandeep, can I ask you a question about your launch?
Sure.
Yeah. With your new product, how many keywords wide did you have to rank on the new product?
So how many keywords?
Yeah, did you work on to decide to go ahead with the product?
So I actually turned just an auto campaign on. There are two big keywords that I could have gone for. It's a product used by women. And I didn't know, because I don't have anybody else who sells my product, I didn't know which would convert better. So I actually just turned an auto campaign on, which I usually don't do. I usually do a phrase. And the auto, just by the second day, it was optimized. But I think the video is what nobody in my niche uses video. And I think that gave me a lot of ranking juice. So I think it's probably equivalent or maybe a little less than exact.
What I would say is that it's not about the ranking juice being different. It's about the conversion of video higher.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're positively impacting your overall conversion rate. Yeah. And auto typically converts lower with lower bid, and that can hurt your listing instead. And I don't ever recommend starting with an auto campaign because you're confusing Amazon. Amazon doesn't know what you're selling the first few days. So we never start with an auto campaign or a broad campaign because we don't want to confuse Amazon's algorithm and get indexed for something we're not selling, or have Amazon convinced we're not selling what we are selling, which happens. So you want to start with exact, you want to start with product targeting ads. You want to tell Amazon exactly what you're selling when you start.
Yeah, and that's what
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a product collection one where I was targeting keywords that I felt were relevant.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you did the auto on top of it as well.
Yeah, because there's so many keywords that I could be ranked for, like, you know, gift for mom over 40, gift for mom during COVID. Like you just can't, I could not mentally get over, okay, I don't know where. So I'm just going to turn this auto on and see what happens and just kind of go from there, which I normally don't do.
Cool. No worries.
Just one more question, Brandon. Do you ever, because I sell a lot of products for women, I'm interested in learning Pinterest ads. Have you ever done Pinterest ads? And if you do you have like a course?
I don't do them, but I have students that have done them and they're very effective because you can target keywords.
I can speak on Pinterest ads. Pinterest ads are not as good for conversion, but they're really good for ranking over time. And because people go to Pinterest to save things and visit them later, they don't necessarily go to Pinterest to shop. But a Pinterest pin lasts a really long time. And so you can get a ton of organic ranking and you can boost that organic ranking with a Pinterest ad as well. And they're cheap and they have amazing reach across the internet. So that's what's awesome about Pinterest compared to like Instagram or Facebook where you're running ads and they're just kind of dying. Joe Reichsfeld has an incredible Pinterest course. It's free. And we used it and grew our Pinterest following to over 600,000 followers in a little over a month. So definitely check it out.
I'll have to get that link and then share it with everybody because that sounds awesome. Joe
let me grab it. I'll share it.
Yeah. He's all over the other platforms and does a really good job.
Thanks.
I do have to go finish unloading a container. So I appreciate everyone's patience with getting started a couple minutes late. And then again, I hope this was valuable. I hope that you guys understand a little bit more about indexing and your listings and ranking and launching. We had some good questions in there. And then if you guys have, you have 2 minutes, go vote. Amy's also on the list. She has her agency is one of the ones you can vote for. So
I'm right behind Brandon. It's hard to keep up with him, man. But I'm honored to be right behind you, man. Like you're incredible. So it's awesome.
I appreciate that. Your content is awesome as well. So guys, thank you again. It's sellerpoll.com if you can. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the public group, the Seller System Succeeding on Amazon FBA. Join us on Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions. I'm on there. Or this will be on YouTube later. You can ask questions there. Just, I'm always accessible. So hopefully, if you need anything, I'm here for you. So good luck, everyone. Take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See ya.